Let's bring in from Martinez, California, criminal defense attorney Ashley Bargenquast. Thoughts? It's a lot. We've heard from victims, gunshot victims, hospital staff, now the school resource officers. It feels like the school shooter's trial, but this is Dad.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. And I mean, I think that is the prosecution's best strategy, right? Not only do they have to show that it happened to hold someone accountable for, an accomplice liability, but by showing kind of this horrific tragedy, which nobody can refute and nobody is trying to refute. You saw the defense do an incredible job not cross-examining any of the victims, not getting into any of that. What you have is an incredibly emotional case that isn't anything that Dad did, right? We haven't gotten to what Dad did yet, really, or what he didn't do and then what he did. So what they're building up, what the prosecution is building up, is just this horrific tragedy. And nobody can say that it's anything except this horrific tragedy. And so by proving that and showing we're right here, we're correct here, we're proving it here, we've shown you what happened here, the jury is almost primed to believe that, well, the prosecution has already showed us everything that's true here, so why would we think that what they're showing us next isn't also true? And the defense is going to have to, fight that kind of uphill battle, made all the more complicated by the fact that this trial is happening before the son's trial. So they can't just say, you have these guilty verdicts, we can stipulate to it. They kind of have to go through this procedurally.
You're right. That's a good point. So you're going to get the full Monty in this trial because there is no stipulating. There hasn't been a conclusion to Colt's trial yet. So that might have been strategy. We were talking last hour, was it strategy? Was it that, he was not able to go because of some mental evaluation issues? But at the end of the day, it's actually good for the state.
I think so. I think that having there be no ability for the defense to say, we'll just stipulate, or we can just tell them that there's already guilty verdicts there and this is more prejudicial than probative, because that argument can't really be made because there isn't that prior ruling, everybody has to sit through the absolute tragedy of proving that a school shooting happened. And nobody's saying this didn't happen. Nobody's saying this isn't a horrific tragedy. Nobody's saying this is excusable or that, it wasn't Colt. There's just this horrific kind of emotional beginning to this trial. And at that point, everybody's emotions are so high, you do want somebody to blame, right? And everybody is going to be thinking, I could have prevented this if I had been there. I would have prevented it if it were my son. And so then it's the question of, just because you could have, would have, should have, did the father violate a duty, right? Did it raise to the level of actually making him, an accomplice?
Yeah. I think it might have, we'll see. Let's get a break. When we come back, we'll head back to the courtroom for more testimony. This is Dad's trial. Son hasn't gone yet. But as Ashley said, it is horrific what this jury has already been exposed to through not only law enforcement, but medical professionals and students themselves who were shot that September day in 2024.
This is the story of the Richins. Eric, a father of 3, met an untimely end, and Corey, his widow, wrote a children's book